Attitude Broadcasting presents BSS Carolina with your host, Rocky. JPP, not only are you a giant, but you are a dummy giant.
Giant dummy.
You'll be in the same unemployment line as Steve Clifford. New job, Release Roberts. Linsanity's a hornet. We call us hockey experts. Easy.
You know who the next Jordan is? LeBron. It's not his fault. It's just because I like playing devil's advocate. Never again. Hall of Famer. Tannehill. Game over. Don't worry. I'll wait. We've all said it. None of us are hockey experts. I guess we are. We're beating hockey experts.
And big shots.
PJ Harrison. Rudy Gobert. JPP. What a dingling. Linssanity. I said better. I didn't say good. Roy Hibbert. What a dingling. If Duncan gets the 7 rings, not his fault. With Jordan, you got plenty of money. Get you a driver. Bump that. Side pieces. Side pieces. Ronda Rousey.
You can listen to the show on Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. And follow us on Twitter at BSS Carolina. Welcome to BSS Carolinas. Of course, I'm Rocky. Joining me today once again is of course, my partner in crime over here, Big Shot, Beautiful Bob.
What's happening, Rock?
What's going on, man?
Another beautiful day in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right, man. Awesome day in Charlotte. It's beautiful out the last couple of days. No rain. Sunny. It's real nice, man. And the only thing that's not nice today is our internet connection in the room. So if you see us on Periscope and you want to call in, please do at
919-943-2044.
And we'll put you on the air during the show and chat with you about the Cavs, the Warriors, enemies of the week. Sitting at the whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about on the show.
Absolutely. The All-Stars MIA. That's the big difference between All-Stars and superstar players. All-Star players don't play well on the road in the playoffs. Superstar players, their game travels, so even if their team loses, at least they still showed up. They don't go missing. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, it's such a big difference, though, with the superstars in the NBA and the All-Stars. Because there's only a few superstars, in my opinion, that just show up nightly. LeBron is one of those. But most of the time in the playoffs, man, you get Kyle Lowry don't show up. I don't get it. I don't understand it. DeRozan doesn't show. It's like, all right, we'll check back in when we get back home. It's frustrating, man.
It's really frustrating.
Same with the Cavs. I'm letting Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving and the whole Cavs bench, who else you want to say. It's frustrating, but come on, man. Last night was very, very frustrating watching that game. The Eastern Conference playoffs, the Cavs lead the series now 3-2. Game 5, the Cavs won 116-78.
Wow. They lost by 38. They had the biggest halftime deficit in conference final history last night, Toronto did.
Yep, 31.
They have, how many points they have? It was 67 to 30.
What, at halftime?
At halftime, like
67 to 36, yeah. 36 points.
The Cavaliers had 37 points in the first quarter. Toronto didn't have 37 at halftime. I don't understand that team, and I like Kyle Lowry and I like DeMar DeRozan a lot. They are two really solid players when they got it going, but then they pull these disappearing acts Might as well call him Wesley Snipes and what's the girl that was in that movie? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen Disappearing Acts, you might as well call them that couple because that's what they do. It's incredible to me, man. It is incredible. And I know DeRozan is looking for a max deal, and he's probably going to get a max deal, but he's not going to be able to take a franchise to a championship.
He's not a max player. He's not a superstar. He's a all-star, sure, but a superstar, no.
Far from it.
Like last night, DeMar Carroll, 2 of 7. 2 of 7, 0 for 4 from three-point lands. 5 total points for DeMar Carroll. This was one of their biggest offseason additions, so supposedly going to be the missing scoring piece to the pie.
The defensive specialist for the bigger small forwards in the East.
He got specialized.
A specialized ass whooping. That's what he's taking.
Why is it? I asked you, where has this guy been? I haven't seen him. I ain't seen him since he's been in Atlanta. When he played for the Hawks last time I saw him.
I don't know. He dyed the tips of his dreads and looks like copycat Future, and he's just not played well. He's missing open shots, which makes him a liability on the offensive end, and then he's just abysmal on the defensive end. It's like, stay home. Why are you even out here?
Why? Yeah, I have no reason why he's even out there. Then you have, Biyombo. We know he doesn't score a lot, but last night he had a total of 4 rebounds. All right, 4 rebounds last night. Jonas actually was very good. He had 9 points. He had 0 rebounds. So they couldn't rebound the ball to save their life. The whole team. DeMar DeRozan, he was 10 of 12 from the free throw line, but he was 2 of 8 from shooting from the field. Really? It's a game 5 on the road. Kyle Lowry, 5 of 12, 1 of 4 from threes, 2 of 6 from the free throw line. How is your starting point guard missing 4 free throws?
I don't know, man.
2 players scored over 10 points in this game.
Maybe it's the Canadian Air, eh?
It is the NBA playoffs. And I know, come on, man. This is the reason it's so frustrating to watch the Eastern Conference. Because you see the first 2 games, the Cavs absolutely destroyed the Raptors. The next 2 games, the Raptors destroyed the Cavs. Game 5, the Cavs destroyed the Raptors again. Come on, where's the competitiveness
The only
in this
competitive
team?
game was Game 4, and that's when Cleveland made their run and they battled the last 5 minutes of the game. But other than that, it's been one-sided series for one team, just depending on what site they're at. Kyle Lowry, his plus-minus was minus 25 last night. DeMar DeRozan was minus 32. You only attempted 8 shots? What are you doing?
DeMar Carroll, negative 25. And the guy that actually shot, Will Scola, played 14 minutes.
Yeah, Scola came out. He hit a 3.
Why do you get him involved more?
Exactly. They put Patrick Patterson in, and then Patrick Patterson hurt his hand, so that hurt a little bit. Valanciunas was scoring a little bit, but he's rusty. He hasn't played in 18 days, so it's going to take him a second to get back into game shape. The same fire that you guys play with in the Air Canada Center, why do y'all not play with that fire on the road? And I thought, okay, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, they scored 67 points together in Game 4. It's going to carry over to Game 5. They've been able to pull off at least one road win every playoff series. Nope. They have no shot. And I think they go and lose Game 6. Because all the pressure is on them now to win, to stay alive, to try to force a Game 7. And I don't think they respond to pressure well.
I don't think they do either. I don't think they win Game 6. And shame on the Cavs. Shame on the Cavs. How in the world did you let this team win 2 games? I mean, Kevin Love, finally showed up. He was, from the get-go, he was a big part of the team. And that is how they're going to win. He has to be a big part. LeBron James has to be basically the third wheel in this team and push Kyrie and Kevin Love to lead it.
They do.
And Tristan Thompson, where were you before? I mean, you rebounded everything last night. You had 5 offensive rebounds.
But that's the thing in the NBA. Role players, all-star caliber players, they play better at home. You know what is what when you go on the road in pressure situations.
It shouldn't matter where you're at. You're in the NBA playoffs, in the conference finals. That should get you up enough right there. Go ask Oklahoma City. They're getting up for these games.
Well, their superstars played well in game 1 on the road to help them win. And then, at home, Andre Robertson has 17 points and 12 rebounds for them. Serge Ibaka has 17 and 10.
Right, but everybody stood up and played. Hey, this is playoff time. This ain't time to lose. That's what kills me about the Cavs. Why? The Raptors shouldn't be in this series at all.
The Raptors had a very good season. They won 50-plus games. They won most of their home games. That's how they got to 50 wins. So, for them to win at 1 game at home, okay. But to win 2 games, what? And Biyombo had 40 rebounds in 2 games?
Yeah, they should. I mean, they won 1 less game than the Cavs. But we all agree, everybody in the world agrees, they're not on the same level as the Cavs. There's no way.
And the Cavaliers' game plan, they go on the road, they want to shoot threes. We don't want to go in the paint anymore. We don't want easy shots. We want to shoot the 3. They come back to the Quicken Loans Arena. Oh, we don't know what the 3-point line is. We're going to shoot it in the paint every time. I don't understand that. Shooting the paint all the time. You got Kevin Love going early. He had paint touches, and the 3 started falling for him. He loves the Q, man, but outside the Q, we saw. We can't even play you in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Channing Frye's taking time away from him. But, they have to play they have to play inside out, not outside in. They are trying to be Oklahoma. They're trying to be Golden State. They're not Golden State. They are better when Kyrie and LeBron are driving to the basket and kicking it back out if somebody's open. That is when they're better, not when all of them's out there shooting threes. If you're shooting 40 threes in a game, that is way too many for the Cavs.
That says 2 things to me, that you were way behind and you were shooting threes to try to catch up. And you're being passive or lazy. Either way you want to take it, because you're not trying to go to the paint.
This team should shoot no more than 25 in a game. No more than 25 threes in a game. Because they should be at the free throw line for 40, 30 at least.
At least. And any comments about the Raptors-Cavs game from last night, call us, 919-943-2044. We would love to listen to your comments and share our verbiage with you guys.
Absolutely. Please join us. Follow us on Twitter, also at BSS Carolinas, and chat with us on Periscope during the show. And we are proudly sponsored by Attitude Broadcasting. I did forget to mention that earlier.
Get your attitude back in broadcasting with the Attitude Broadcasting Company. It's the Attitude Era, baby. The new ABC.
Is the series over?
Yes, the series was over when it started. And Toronto just happened to win a couple games and got everybody's skirts in a knot. But we knew it was over. The inevitable was happening. LeBron James and the Cavaliers will be in the finals again, back-to-back seasons, and it'll be the 7th straight trip for LeBron James to the finals.
He's 2-5. I mean 2-4.
2-4. Well, his 6th straight trip to the finals, right?
Yeah. 6 straight. There'll be 7 total to the NBA finals. So he has done one thing Jordan didn't, 7 finals. Anyway.
Because Jordan wanted to play baseball.
Yep. Why do the Cavs play around with these teams? Why? Because to me, game 3 and 4, they played around these teams.
And plus, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving didn't show up for game 3. Kyrie had a little spurt late in game 4, but for the most part, he wasn't there. And when their offense isn't clicking, it takes away from their defense because then they don't defend as well. I feel like.
Is this a case of the era that we live in, but where everybody is buddies, and there's no competitive, like during the playoffs, like LeBron and D Wade? I'll take that for example. Hey, I'm in Miami this weekend. You know, we're playing against each other. Let's hang out. And does this have anything to do with how these teams play against other teams? Because you don't see people back in the day, and I'll say it, back in our day, when they had a team down 3-0, guess what? It's over. You ain't coming back.
You very rarely.
We're not letting you win a game. Now it's like, all right, you're down. All right, we'll give you a game. And that's cool. 1 game's cool. 2 games is cool. But it's like, no. And I know the first 2 series they played, but come on. The Atlanta Hawks and Detroit Pistons, come on.
Detroit had they played Detroit 4 times this year, so Detroit knows them really well, and they still swept them. Atlanta, they shot insanely well. They shot insanely well from the three-point line, and they swept Atlanta. Atlanta was a good team. Atlanta would have beat Toronto. Atlanta would have beat Toronto in the
could have.
series.
Yeah, I could have seen them. But the Eastern Conference teams are about the same, except for the Cavs.
Yeah, except for the Cavs. But they did their job, and I'm sure they wanted the sweep. They didn't expect the Air Canada Center to be that tough. They hadn't won in the Air Canada Center all year.
So you just think it's because they played at home. Toronto played at home.
Yeah.
In a tough environment. Come on. To me, the arena doesn't matter. I mean, you watch some of these games, and, I remember watching LeBron and Miami come into Charlotte and completely blowing us out. It don't mean nothing. I don't. The home court advantage is not as big deal as it was in the 80s and 90s. Because everybody's farther back, it's not as big of a deal.
It's still a big deal in certain spots, like San Antonio, one of the toughest places to win in the NBA. Oakland, California, one of the toughest places to win in Portland.
Okay, which, by the way, during the playoffs, the Golden State Warriors lost 2 games at home. San Antonio lost 3 in the playoffs. They lost 1 game all year at home. I don't think it's not as tough as people make it out because Oklahoma City went in and won 3 games.
But look at Cleveland, having lost at home all playoffs. OK City only lost 1 time at home during the playoffs. So teams take advantage for the most part of being at home, winning games at home.
I'm just wondering, does it have to do with the athletes today? Do they? I don't know. I mean, I'm not in their mind, so I don't know. Is it, they don't take advantage of it as well as they should?
Well, we just got a comment that those were the biggest games in Canadian basketball history, and there was so much energy in the building, outside the building, in Jurassic Park, that area, which I can agree with. The Canadian fans, the Toronto Raptor fans are amazing. And the energy they bring in that building, you saw what they did to Biyombo. They had Biyombo looking like he was the next coming of Dennis Rodman or something. You don't need you to score, but you snatch every rebound that's thrown up off the glass, and you block shots like a young Dwight Howard.
Right. And I totally get. And listen, I love the Jurassic Park outside the arena and all that. I thought that's great. They got some good fans. They do. You see the one guy that travels to Cleveland and Toronto for every game, the Sheik or wherever he's wearing. Yeah. He's at every game, so it's great, that they travel. But, dude, come on. The Raptors shouldn't even be on the court with the Cavs. It doesn't – I mean, I don't get it. They just got demolished.
Well, let me ask you this. You take LeBron James out of the equation, and you put all those teams together on the floor at the YMCA.
Yeah.
Who you taking? pick up basketball. Who you taking?
What, out of the Cavs and the Raptors?
Yeah.
Who am I taking?
There's no LeBron James on the court. It's just the rest of those guys out there.
Probably Kyrie Irving, because I want a point guard.
Over Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's no questions.
All right. Who you taking second then? Who would you take second?
Probably Kevin Love.
Really?
It's sad. Probably Kevin Love because he's a bigger guy. He can shoot the three from outside, and he can rebound. Or he's got post moves, and that's what kills me. We don't see it a lot because he's outside shooting threes all day. Last night he was hitting them, but he got started by working inside out. He didn't just hang out at the 3-point line. So same question you did. Who you getting? If it's not LeBron, who are you taking?
I'm probably taking DeRozan.
Over Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
You're Duke?
I like Kyrie's game. I know he's probably the best street baller in the game. I posted that on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Not meaning that, it's all the tricks. He's got the great handle and he's great one-on-one. But DeRozan gets to the paint. He has a sick mid-range shot, and he's a longer defender, and he's probably the best athlete behind LeBron James out there on the floor. Then I'd probably take Kyrie, and then Kyle Lowry would probably be third. I don't think I'd take Kevin Love before I take, Tristan Thompson. Because I need somebody to rebound and defend.
I can defend. I'll be the defender. I'll let him. Yeah, I get you, man. We talked about it before. Cavs have a superstar player and 2 all-stars. The Raptors have 2 all-star players. That to me, the superstar and the all-star players should had this over in 5 games.
Now, there's a lot of people out there that would say Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are the second best backcourt in the league.
Okay, who's the first?
Clay and Steph.
Clay and Steph. All right. Name another backcourt after them 2.
John Wall, Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and C.J. McCollum.
CJ, that's a good one coming up. I give them top 5. The John Wall and Bradley Beal.
Goran Dragic and Dwayne Wade. There's some backcourts. Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith. They're a pretty good backcourt, but you wouldn't put them above Lowry and DeRozan.
No, the depth of the backcourts aren't that great in the NBA. They're not. You might name 5 or 6 out of 30 teams. You might get 5 or 6 really good backcourts.
Well, that's still a good percentage. There's not a lot of teams in the league.
You got 5 good teams out of 30?
5 good backcourts out of 30.
Well, I'm just saying. There's not, it's not knocking your...
Kemba Walker, Nick Batum?
Oh, my goodness. All right. Come on. We're not being... Listen, I'll put them in the top 10. But no, he doesn't even play the 2. He doesn't play the 2. It's Jeremy Lin usually. And we'll probably have people on Periscope, Jeremy Lin and Kemba Walker. Please, really. I'm in Charlotte. I love my Hornets, but come on. Jeremy Lin and Kemba Walker get schooled defensively.
Teague and Schroeder.
Who?
Jeff Teague and Dennis Schroeder.
More 10, he didn't say that. Jeff Teague.
I just got that from one of our Periscopians out there. Jeff Teague is an all-star caliber guard.
Okay, all right, fine. Top 10. There you might have 7.
Reggie Jackson and Caldwell Pope up in Detroit.
Up and coming. They're not one of the top backcourts in the league.
Blake, Chris Paul, and J.J. Redick.
Now, you can I put them ahead DeMar DeRozan and Lowry.
Really?
Absolutely. Because to me, Chris Paul does a lot of point guard defense. His defense is better than Kyle Lowry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Now,
he made all defensive team again.
DeRozan can score. J.J. Redick can score.
But JJ is so dependent on somebody getting him shots, so.
He doesn't create his shots the way DeRozan does. I agree with that, and DeRozan will get to the line more. Which but I'm just saying, the depth of the NBA backcourts is not mind-boggling, where it's, wow, look at all these great backcourts in the league.
True.
There's not.
Most teams have one stud in their backcourt.
Right. They got one stud, then they got somebody you picked up at the Y. Or at the home, as Bimani Jones would say, at the Home Depot.
At the Home Depot. Like my 18th cousin out there in OK City. But he's been playing well.
We have to talk about your cousin on the next segment of the show. We're definitely going to talk about your cousin because, we got to spend some time talking about – we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the Western Conference playoffs.
But let's go ahead and congratulate Cleveland because they'll be back in the finals.
Absolutely,
Congratulations, Cleveland. Way to go. Hopefully your man can pull it off for you guys this year. LeBron, the land.
And I'm not being a hater. I want to see LeBron win a title in Cleveland. I want to see him win another NBA championship. This man is too great. I'm kind of like Stephen A. Smith when he talks about it. I love seeing this man. I know how great he is, but I'm tired of seeing him not win one. This man needs not go 2-5 in the finals. I'm just saying. But it's going to be tough, so we'll find out.
Like Stephen A. said, quote, your handle on Twitter and Instagram is at King James, but what's a king without his crown?
Absolutely. All right, well, you got anything else for today's show?
Somebody just said you're a LeBron hater.
I'm not a LeBron hater. Yeah, I know who that is. Thanks. Oh, I'm no LeBron hater, man. I'm hoping the guy wins. How am I hating on LeBron? All right, anyway, that's it for today's show. On tomorrow's show, we will talk more about the Western Conference playoffs, patrolling, and our enemies of the week.
Always, sports is life.
And you can catch us everywhere.
Side piece.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times.
My baby is drama, mama. Don't like me. She doing things like having the boys come from her neighborhood to the studio trying to fight me. She need to get a piece of American pie and take her bite out. That's my house. I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. And let her know her grandchild is a baby and not a paycheck. Private school, daycare, medical bills, I pay that. I love your mom and everything. See, I ain't the only one who